Heavy terms like cyber warfare pop up quite a bit in the news these days. But are they overblown, scaremongering terms, or do they accurately describe the state of modern cyber attacks? We asked security experts at the RSA Conference 2012 in San Francisco if the term cyber warfare is just hype.
I don't like the term cyber warfare because, yes, I do think it is more of a marketing term. It is trying to conjure up connotations of something much more broad. But I don't want to suggest that it's not real. When we talk about, nation states launching attacks, that is absolutely very real. And it is not done necessarily from the standpoint of wanting to inflict harm the way traditional warfare would be done. It is intellectual property. It is other governments saying, hey, we want to steal that IP, those ideas, and get them back here.
I think calling it warfare is in fact overblown and scaremongering. It isn't really warfare. With relatively few exceptions, such as Stuxnet, most of what they're going after is in fact information, intellectual property. Espionage is really a more accurate term than warfare. But nonetheless, the threats are real. People really are doing these things. There are nation-state-backed attacks.
I do find that the term cyber warfare seems to evoke an emotional response that's beyond what we are actually seeing. Do we think that it's a bad thing? Do we think that it's something that is happening? Certainly it is, but trying to make that distinction between when it's actually warfare and when it's just a regular plain vanilla attack is actually very difficult to do for the most part.
I would call the kind of stuff that's generally reported in the media as probably more cyber espionage than warfare. You could split hairs about whether that's all the same thing. I think the warfare is more actual attacks on infrastructure, actual attacks that have some sort of visible outcome versus stealing of secrets. So it is maybe a touch overused, and I think most of the stuff we see today is more in the espionage kind of realm.
I could go both ways on this topic. I think that the vulnerabilities are real. They're being used to infiltrate and steal intellectual property. The same kinds of vulnerabilities can get access to, critical infrastructure, power plants, refineries, all kinds of sensitive things that someone would want to attack and shut down or damage in a cyber war. It's just that is anyone actually trying to do that? And I think it's still a little bit up in the air.